So today we're talking about quadratic equations. We are using the factorization method to determine these various quadratic equations questions that we've been given. Now the first question is 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 equals 0 using the factorization method. First, you have to compare the question given to the general quadratic equation, which is a x squared plus x plus c equals 0. Now comparing your general quadratic equation to the question, now you will be able to find your a, b, and the c. Now the a will be equal to 2, b will be equal to 7, the c will be equal to negative 15. So we have a equals 2, the coefficients, b equals to 7, the coefficients, c equals negative 15. Now knowing this, the first thing you have to do is to find a product. For product, which is a p, is always equal to the product of a and the c. And we know the a to be 2, the c is negative 15, that gives us negative 30. Then we have to find the sum being always equal to b, which is what? 7. Now, you have to ask yourself, two factors that when you multiply, you get negative 30. The same two factors, when you add them, you get positive 7. That gives you those two factors to be 10 and negative 3. So 10 times negative 3 gives you negative 30. 10 plus negative 3 gives you positive 7. So we can substitute these two factors into the equation as this. So we have the 2x squared plus 10x minus 3x minus 15 equals 0. So we have the two factors, remember, 10 and negative 3 in here. So 10x minus 3x still gives you the positive 7x in the question. So we continue with the question by putting all these expressions in different brackets as I do it. Now you can factorize them out by writing 2x into bracket x plus 5, simply because 2x times x gives you 2x squared, 2x times 5 gives you 10x, minus, now you can bring the 3 out into bracket. You can factorize the same thing. Now these two in the bracket will always be the same. When you factorize them and they are different, it means that your factorization is completely wrong. Always make sure when you factorize them, your first two expressions in the bracket will always be the same. Then putting those numbers outside the bracket, in one bracket we have 2x minus 3 in one bracket, and then select one of those numbers or one of those expressions in the bracket, which is x plus 5 equals 0. Now solving the ones in the bracket, we can take the first one, which is 2x minus 3 equals 0, bringing this negative 3, or grouping the light term, the negative 3 comes where the 0 is. Since it's negative 3, when it crosses the equal sign, it becomes positive. So we have the 2x equals 3. Dividing both sides by 2. 2 cancels 2. Now we have x equals 3 over 2. Then we tackle the other one in the other bracket, which is x plus 5 equals 0. Find x. Since we have x, the 5 being positive when it crosses the equal sign during the grouping of like terms. Now we have x equals negative 5. So we have the factors of the x to be either 3 over 2 or negative 5. So that is the answer that you'll be expecting to have. That is the first question. Now let's move to the second question then. The second question, we have s squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. First, remember, we have to compare this to the general quadratic equation, which we have a s squared plus the b x plus c equals 0. Now, comparing the various coefficients, you will determine that you will have the a here. The coefficients of s squared is 1, and the coefficients of the x is also 1. We have it to be negative 1. So, writing the various coefficients, you write that a equals 1, b equals negative 1, and c equals negative 2. Now, to solve this, you have to find the product. So the product, which is a p, equals a times c. So we have a times c, we have the a to be positive 1 times c to be negative 2. This gives us negative 2. And finding the sum is b, and we know that the b is negative 1. So we have to find two numbers or two factors that when you multiply, you get negative 2, but when you add them, you get negative 1. So those two factors will be negative 2 and 1. So negative 2 times 1 gives you negative 2. Negative 2 plus 1 gives you negative 1. Now, substituting this into the expression, we will get s squared minus 2x plus x minus 2 equals 0. Remember, these expressions are what we have. We have the negative 2 and positive 1 factors here. So let's put them in the perspective. Putting it in a bracket, we have x into bracket x minus 2 plus into bracket x minus 2 all equals 0. Now remember that we didn't write any number here, but behind this, the coefficients of this bracket is 1, positive 1. Because we have x times x will give you s squared, x times negative 2 gives you negative 2x. We have 1 times s gives you what? X. 1 times negative 2 gives you negative 2. Now bringing those out of the bracket, in one bracket, we have x plus 1, and then select one of those in the bracket as x minus 2 equals 0. Now solving the equations, we have x plus 1 equals 0. Now you have taking the positive 1, which is positive when you cross it by grouping the like term, crossing this to where the 0 is, crossing the equal sign. The 1, which is positive, now tends to be what? Negative. Now we take the other one, which is x minus 2 equals 0. Grouping the like terms, the f, we have the negative 2 when it crosses the equal sign becomes what? Positive. So we have x equals to 2. Now we have x is either negative 1 or 2. That is the answer we'll be expecting you to have. Now with the question 3, I'll leave it to you, my followers, my audience, my family, for you to solve it and put the answers in the comment section for us to see who has it. So I will also write the question 3. As an assignment, we have negative 5x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. Now this is the question leaving for you guys to solve. Please don't forget to put your answers in the comment section for us to see who had it correct and who had it wrong, so that we learn from each other. Don't forget to also share to people that you know that they need it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until we meet again for the second method of solving quadratic equation, see you guys. I'm out. Bye.